Hello everyone. So today's video is something that has been requested to me a lot of times, and I keep getting this request to um, have a video on my exercise routine. I have not been very confident about it, and I'm still not confident. So that's why I want to put this disclaimer before I show you what I do for my daily exercise routine. We are all very differently built, and one kind of exercise do not work for everyone, first of all. And not just that, I am the least qualified person to talk about exercising and all those things. For me, I have learned over time by myself. I have never had any kind of training when it comes to these exercises or whatever. I do by myself. I've tried going to the gym few times, but it did not work for me. So by now, I know what works for me. I really like to stretch. I like to feel good in my body. That's the reason why I practice the kind of exercise that I do. For you, it may be different. We are all very different. So, different things work on our body, and not just that, but we all like different things. So please remember that. I'm not at all saying that you should be doing what I do. It's just because some of you have been requesting me to do this video, and I somehow feel the responsibility to let you know what I do. So please remember that you should not be following me, because I'm not at all trained in this area. So please remember that. I'm just going to show what I do and what works for me. So you will have to find your own path and try and figure out what works for your body or what works for you, because if you try and follow someone else's exercise regime, first of all, you may not like it, and then it may not work for your body. So please remember that. As I said, I did go to gym few times, but I did not like it. And I know there are so many people who likes going to the gym and it works for them, but I'm definitely not that person. I do not like going to the gym. I do not feel like I enjoy being in the gym, but I like my morning, that routine where I just get to be with myself, and it's more like a relaxation time for me when I sit on my mat. This exercise is very specific to me. As I'm putting it out there, by no means I'm saying that you got to follow this. Now that the disclaimer is out there, let's start the exercise and let me show you what I do for my morning routine. Please note that my usual morning practice lasts for 25 to 30 minutes, but for the sake of this video, I have made it shorter. So I do almost the same things that I'm doing in this video, but then I hold each of these positions for longer duration. Also, please remember that we all have different level of flexibility, stamina and strength, and therefore we have to be really careful when we are attempting anything new. We do not want to push our body beyond our current limit and capability. Yes, with time and with practice, we will get better, we will have more flexibility and more strength. But then we do not want to be unkind to our body. We want to make sure we are kind and we are patient with ourselves. Yes, I would also like to have access to so many different postures, and I am practicing for those, but at the same time I'm not rushing, or I'm not trying to push my body to do something that it is not capable of yet, because our muscles, and we have veins and everything which can be pretty sensitive. We have to be careful. We do not want to get injured, so please be careful of that. I am still on my journey of building more strength and being more flexible, but at the same time I am kind to myself. I am not going to torture myself into doing something that my body is not yet capable of. So whatever I'm able to do today, I was not able to do it overnight. It took years for me to have access to many of these postures. So please be mindful of that. Please listen to your own body and be kind to yourself, because at the end of the day, you have only one body to live in. You cannot torture it to an extent where it gets injured or anything like that. You want to live in a healthy body, and the reason that we are doing all this is to make sure that we stay healthy, but then we do not want it to come at the cost of getting injured. Now, one thing that I can confidently say has worked for me is being consistent. Being consistent has helped me become stronger and more flexible. Being consistent is the key to, getting to wherever you're going. We have goals that we want to achieve, but then if we are not consistent about putting in the little efforts that is required, then our goal may seem very far to us and we may never be able to reach to that goal. So it is very important. You may not be able to do it all the time. Maybe at times there will be days where you just want to laze around and not want to do anything, and maybe that's okay once in a while, but you do not want that to become your normal. And I see a lot of time people pushing themselves beyond their limit and trying to torture themselves, and I feel like that is something that we might have to do if we do not maintain a consistency with our practice or whatever we do in life. So if we are doing on a consistent basis, everything is about accumulation. Your strength is being accumulated, your flexibility is being accumulated, all the effort that you're putting in is accumulating, and suddenly you wouldn't even realize, you wouldn't even know how it happened, but it will happen. I clearly remember those days when I wished I could do the headstand or the crow pose, but I did not have enough strength in my arms for those poses. Over time, I don't even remember how, but I suddenly had access to these postures and I was so happy about it, but I don't remember torturing myself to get access to these postures. And that was because I was very patient with myself. I never pushed myself beyond my limit, or I never stopped practicing just because I could not see the results. So even when you do not see the result, you have to remember that consistency is what's going to get you to the next level. Every little effort makes a difference. All we got to do is put in the little efforts each day, and suddenly we will get to see the results that we hoped for. But at times when we reach to that point, we might even wonder how did that happen, or if we got lucky. But if you look back from that point, you will realize that you were putting in these little efforts all along. You were sowing the seeds, and you thought that these seeds were disappearing underground. Now, when we initially sow the seeds, we have to let the seeds disappear for a while and let them take root. But that doesn't mean that our seeds are wasted, because when the time is right, we will definitely see the seed coming out in the form of beautiful plants. Please do not stop putting in the effort and keep making goals and keep dreaming for your future. Yes, I'm not talking just about exercising here. Whatever goals you have to keep working on it. Yes, we are going through a difficult time as a world right now, but please do not let that stop you from dreaming and trying to achieve whatever it is that you have been trying to achieve. Right now, it may seem like there is too much uncertainty, and you may even be wondering if we will get through this and will come out on the other side. But we are going to get through this situation, and we are definitely going to come out on the other side. This is definitely not the first time that the world has faced such crisis. If you look back on history, the world has been through worse situations than the one we are in right now. But we as human race have survived and come out on the other side every time. Please remember that we are going to get over this sooner or later. Let's make sure that we do not come out on the other side exactly the same as before. We have to come out on the other side better and stronger. Therefore, please do not stop putting in the effort, dreaming and making goals for your own sake and for everyone else. Difficult seasons in our life has the capability to either break us or to build us. So let's make sure that we do not get broken by the situation we are in right now. Personally, over time, through all the challenges that life has exposed to me, I have come to understand that none of the challenges that I faced in my life were a punishment to me, but each of these challenges came along to build my strength. And yes, while I was going through the challenges, it was never easy, and I could never understand why I had to go through all that I have been through. But once I got on the other side of the challenges, it always made perfect sense. Similarly, right now, nothing is making sense to us, and there are so many uncertainties that we are surrounded by. But I know that it will all make sense once we get on the other side of this difficult situation. So let's have hope, let's have faith, and let's keep looking forward to the beautiful future that we will get to once we are on the other side of this situation. If you are feeling discouraged or feeling low, I would suggest that you pause for a moment and take some time to be grateful. Be grateful for the little things that we very often take for granted. But in times like this, when we are in difficult seasons of life, we learn to appreciate these things more than we normally do. So be grateful for being able to breathe comfortably. Be grateful for being able to live in a healthy body. Be grateful for having access to food and water. Be grateful for the people around you who care for you. And if you are a Buddhist, definitely do not forget to be grateful to be a citizen of this small, beautiful, and peaceful country. So there are many things like this, that we very often take for granted. And when we take time to be grateful, we realize that our lives are actually so much better than what we give credit for. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am very happy that I finally got to make this video because I have been asked to make this particular video by many of you. And though my community here is very small, but you are all very precious and very supportive, and I'm always grateful for that. So I try and make as many videos as possible. Please stay safe, stay hopeful for the future. Though this video is supposed to be about my exercise routine, but I couldn't help but encourage you all at the same time. Times that we are going through requires each one of us to encourage and build each other. We need to stand with each other, so let's keep doing our best to make sure that we get on the other side strong and united. And we don't just want to survive this situation, but we also want to thrive through this situation. And let's make sure that happens. And thank you so much for being here. Bye bye, everyone.